Queenslanders have voted for hope over fear. They have voted for a fresh start, and they have voted for a majority LNP government. I want to start by thanking Premier Stephen Miles for his service as the Deputy Premier of this state, and indeed as the Premier. And to think that a son of a factory worker could be the 40th Premier of this state tells you everything you need to know about how great Queensland is. And I want to thank Stephen and his wife Kim for their service to Queensland. I want to thank the members of his team who have lost their seat tonight. Politics is a really, really tough game, and it's the families who bear the scars of that. And tonight, to those members who have lost their seat, I wish them well in the future, and I certainly wish their families even better. To the people of this great state, I've lived and I've worked at both ends of it, and I love every inch of it. And I want to let them know that we'll be serving them with every ounce of fibre we have, and we are determined to make sure that this state returns to the powerhouse we all know it can be. This result is a vindication of a hell of a lot of hard work and a hell of a lot of strategy, and I want to outline just how large this achievement is. Of the last 12 general elections in this state, we've only won one on election night, and tonight we get to celebrate the biggest achievement we've had in over a decade. But that is not what is important about elections. Elections are about people, and it's about doing good for those who don't have a voice. And what history will show is that tonight was the turning corner of the youth crime crisis. And it'll be the turning corner to mean that there are fewer victims in this state, and by Christmas, adult crime, adult time will be law. And we're going to work on early intervention and rehabilitation with purpose to give kids the opportunity to turn their life around as well. History will show this is the turning point in the Queensland health crisis, and ambulance ramping will not remain the highest in the country at 45%. And you'll know that because within 100 days you will see what's happening in your hospital in real time, and you will have doctors and nurses back in charge of those hospitals. And history will show this is the night we began turning the corner in giving young people hope of owning their home again. And vulnerable Queenslanders to have a roof over their head. And we get to work on that in delivering supply, and we intend to remove a tax to do so for young Queenslanders. And history will show this is a turning point to make sure that government does all it can to lower those structural cost of living challenges, and to make sure that working Queenslanders can keep the lights on, to make sure that working Queenslanders can afford to dream, to make better for their children. And we're determined to make sure that we have respect for your money, and that means a culture of budget blowouts will end. Now it's going to take every day of those 4 years to deal with those big four crises: youth crime, health, housing and cost of living. But allow me to map out a vision for the next decade for this state. My vision for Queensland is one where we get on with building the kind of infrastructure we once did in this state. Roads and rail and dams and schools and hospitals, the generational infrastructure to open up opportunities. I want to look at Queensland again being a place where people look to invest, where people can afford to live, and where this state returns to the economic powerhouse of the country. I want to see those in mining and agriculture and tourism look to invest here again. I want to see the high-end medical and educational research come to Queensland, and I want to see businesses relocate here to give opportunities for our people, and we intend to give every opportunity for Queensland to be the economic powerhouse of the nation. And in doing so, we will create a state that benefits working people, many of whom voted for us today for the first time in a long time. A state where we have a great tolerance, where we're a compassionate society, where people who come here from other nations come as strangers but become family. Just like my late grandfather did in 1960. To do this, we will need a world-class public service, and I intend to make sure that we govern with a focus on delivering services for every Queenslander. And to those public servants, I want you to know we intend to give vision and direction and leadership, but advice will be fearless and frank. The culture of entrenched fear will be over, and together we can deliver the services that Queenslanders deserve. I'm mindful that many of those public servants, and indeed other Queenslanders, may have not voted for us tonight and perhaps were distracted by a scare campaign. And to that I say, the good news for us as a political movement, but indeed a state, is that scare campaign won't be able to be run in 4 years' time. When all of those allegations, when all of the scare, when all of the fear doesn't come to fruition, well then we can look to deliver a second-term LNP government. Because friends, this isn't America. This isn't America. We don't pander to extremes. We deliver extremely good outcomes for everyday people. And now it's part of the speech that I really want to deliver, and that's the thank yous to the people in this room and those watching at home. Firstly, to every single Queenslander, thanks for backing us. Thanks very much. To my team, the most loyal, tenacious, hard-working deputy leader you could ever hope. He's going to make a fine deputy premier. To the three former leaders in my political movement who will get the opportunity to serve again as ministers of the Crown. And I want to thank Tim and Deb and John Paul. And in doing so, their strength and their resilience and their assistance of me has been incredible in a really long 4-year term. And I'm going to read just 3 of the texts that I've received from them, and these are from each of them. Keep going. Stay focused. You're nearly there. That's the kind of team that we've created. And that's why for 4 years you've seen discipline and focus and a relentless desire to create a little piece of opportunity for our political movement, but indeed the state. To our members returning, congratulations to all of you. You've been great servants of your communities. To the newly elected team members spread throughout the state, we really look forward to welcoming you to the Parliament, and I know your communities will embrace the opportunity for a fresh face as part of fresh government. Thanks. To one of the sharpest minds in politics, Ben Riley. You've pulled off what we were told 4 years ago wasn't possible, and I want to thank you for delivering this result. To Lawrence Springborg. Well, you all know he's the father of this movement. But we wouldn't be here if he didn't answer a call 4 years ago. And we rang him and we asked him to bring his trademark calm and poise and grace. And the way, Lawrence, that you have enabled the relationship between the two arms of our movement has been something that I will forever be grateful, mate. You've given us a great opportunity. To my Chief of Staff, Richard Ferret, and the most amazing and the humble 23-person opposition office, many of whom came across on day one and took significant pay cuts to leave a job to come and join me on this journey. Oh guys, I'm really, really grateful, I can tell you. To the people that keep the home fires burning, to Jen and Lisa in my electorate office, to Brett and the two Garys for what you do for my Broadwater community. And I want to thank immensely the people of Broadwater for their endorsement of me again. No one can do this job without being a local member, and I'm really, really grateful for that opportunity as well. And now the tough bit, to my family. Tonight is really, really special, but it runs a distant second to the achievement of being a dad. And we've done a lot to shield our two girls from public life. And it's been really difficult for them as young women. But we've made that decision to keep them out of the spotlight because we want them to be their own women and we want them to be successful in life, and we just couldn't be more proud of who they have become. Sadly, next week I will be elected as the Premier, but I'm not even the best parent in my house. To Tegan. You have been on this journey with me for a lifetime, and like the girls, you're not as comfortable in front of the camera as you are behind it. And your support and what you have done for the family when I've been away, when you make sure that when I'm home, those special moments, you've kept me real, and I'm forever grateful. Rightio. In closing, We asked Queenslanders to choose hope over fear, and they did. We asked Queenslanders to vote for a fresh start, and they did. And now tomorrow we get to work. And not the day after, tomorrow. Tomorrow we get to work. And we do what we say we were going to do. We don't do what we say we wouldn't do. And we have a contract with Queenslanders, and we intend to honour it. And finally to the future. We haven't won back-to-back elections in this state since 1986. And you need to understand how important it is if you believe in the values of your political movement and you believe in the people of your state. It has to be about generational government. So we govern with humility and decency and vision and tenacity. And in doing so, we get the opportunity to govern for a longer period of time. And if we get that opportunity, we can do great things for our party, for our kids, for our state. To borrow a phrase from a different era and a different political movement, it's time. It's time.
Yes, it is.
It's time for a fresh start for Queensland. Thanks very much.